Be there 1 second. Just giving out my information. Now. Just 1 second. Just getting everybody in here. And with that being said, all right, one more thing and then we can go. One more thing and then we can get this together. No, not that one. Where's the other one? There we go. This right here. No. All right. No. Nope. That's for later. Hi. Can you guys see me? Hope you can. I'm going to get started in a few seconds. Just a few seconds. Just making sure everything is everything. You feel me? All right, there we go. Sup, Tim? How you doing? How the people's in them? All right, we can just get started. Hello, thank you for joining me for an hour on my podcast. This is ShelShock. Hope you're having a good Monday. I'm having a blah Monday. Well, I'm having okay Monday. I'll tell you why in a few seconds. This episode is brought to you by the word pissed and the word off and the number 2. Yeah, Sesame Street style. But no, I'm just playing. But back to what I'm saying is, So far, my injury update. I'm out of my cast. I got my cast taken off today. I have my boot. I have my Transformer boot from the Transformer movie. You know what Spike wore in the movie. But yeah. So I'm in my boot now. As you can see, it's off. In case you just missed it, here go my boot. But I got 3 more weeks. Mirage boot. Yeah, I have 3 more weeks to stay off my foot, and then after the 3rd week, then I can start putting pressure on it, and then I can start physical therapy, and then I can start walking. That's that. All right, games I've been playing. I've been playing nothing but Elden Ring. All weekend I played nothing but Elden Ring. Why have I been playing Elden Ring all weekend? Is because the day before the DLC came out, I noticed that all my saves were missing, so I had to start over from scratch. Shout out to Chris Ford if he's gonna join in tonight or whatever and watch the stream, but he basically donated some rooms, got me up to a specific level, so then I can just grind it out. But I basically grind it out, and right now, currently, I'm at Mog right now, like literally at Mog, but I've been spending the last 2 hours trying to beat him. I can almost beat him, but I can't, so I might have to level up some more. But I'm gonna be in the DLC either tonight or tomorrow, so there's that. I'm gonna be playing Elden Ring until tomorrow afternoon, and then I'm going back to Apex because the next season start. And then Wednesday, Bison come out for Street Fighter 6. So this week is going to be interesting. And then on top of that, the NBA draft is on Wednesday. So I'm be playing Elden Ring, Street Fighter 6, watching the NBA draft. Yeah. Okay. That's about it on that note. Now, as far as today's topic is mostly going to be about the top 5 games. The top 5 games that the best top 5, not top 5 games, excuse me, the best top 5 years in video game history. What are the best video games years that we know about or we should be talking about for the most part? So with that being said, but first I want to talk about something that brought my attention. Okay, here's the thing. Capcom's been cooking. I want to bring up about Capcom. Capcom has been doing extremely well. Okay. 2 weeks ago? Yeah, 2.5 weeks ago, Capcom at Summer Gamer Fest, Capcom revealed the Season 2 DLC characters for Street Fighter 6, right? And it shut down, I want to pretty much say it shut down the whole Summerfest. After that, nobody really cared about watching the rest of the Summerfest, the rest of the games. I mean, some people did who don't really play fighting games. They wanted to continue to watch it, but a lot of the FGCers and a lot of people who are playing Street Fighter 6, they instantaneously flocked to get more information on Terry Bogard, Mai, Bison, and Elena, who's going to show up in Street Fighter 6. Okay. Then last week, Capcom, and then on top of that, off stream, the one of the games that was the talk of the town at Summer Gamer Fest was Monster Hunter Wilds. Even got some people saying that it's a potential Game of the Year candidate. But then, what happened just recently? Oh, so then Nintendo Direct, they had their Nintendo Direct last week. They had Nintendo Direct, and they were showing off games. And then Capcom shut down the whole thing again with the Marvel vs. Capcom collection. And Capcom Collection has like Marvel versus Capcom. No, it has X-Men versus Street Fighter. It has Marvel superheroes. It has Marvel vs. Capcom 1, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, um, the X-Men game, and then Punisher game as an added bonus. It just then when that premiered on Nintendo, people flocked to the internet again. They stopped watching Nintendo. They like right after that, they was Paper Mario or Mario something, a Mario game, and nobody was like, "No, we don't want to care about that. We want to know what's going on with the Marvel vs. Capcom." So, in two short weeks, Capcom has shut down, literally, like took over the gaming shows, on two separate occasions. People were just flocking out. Capcom is really cooking, and mind you, so we got Marvel vs. Capcom Collection, Monster Hunter Wilds coming out. Then you have Street Fighter 6 DLC, which starts this week. Yeah, they're really cooking. And then, rumor has it they're coming out with a new Biohazard or new Resident Evil over here. And Leon is going to be much older, and he's going to be the main character. Yeah, it's amazing how in 2014, 10 years ago, this company was on the verge of going bankrupt. Like Capcom was like at least maybe 100 or 200,000 less and left in their bank. And they was about to, man, if you had like $1 million, you could have bought Capcom out. I mean, they probably wouldn't sell it, but that's how bad Capcom was as far as straight out of Street Fighter 6. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. People were praying that Sony snatched them up to save them, but Sony did save them, because when Street Fighter 5 came out, Sony gave them ridiculous amount of money, and then in turn Capcom gave them the rights of Street Fighter 5. That's why Street Fighter 5 did not come out on the Xbox console, because it was a big exclusive deal. And then on top of that, Sony bought Evo. So yeah, so Sony kind of bailed out Capcom, but I would say is 1B. 1A bailed out Capcom was Monster Hunter World. When Monster Hunter World came out, Monster Hunter World like did ridiculous numbers, especially in Japan. Monster Hunter World just did ridiculous numbers, like Pokemon numbers, like Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue numbers. Monster Hunter and the Sony deal for Street Fighter 5 really bailed out Capcom, and Capcom been cooking ever since. I mean, cooking. They did a total rework, a restructure of the of their company as far as the big wigs and as far as the org chart goes, and everybody been cooking. Everybody been cooking. Also, I mean, Capcom has been cooking, so that's pretty much in a nutshell. Capcom has really been cooking, been doing really, really good, and yeah. So we're gonna let's talk about that's one I wanted to talk about. Was just one of the main things I wanted to talk about was Capcom and what they're doing, and I'm gonna talk about them a little bit, actually in a few minutes, because we can just get started with the top 5 games. Well, I keep saying games. The top 5 years in video game history. Okay. What made me get this idea was because I was just looking at all the games that's coming out, all the games that did come out, and how Capcom through the years, how they suffered, and the rise and fall again with Capcom, which I'm about to go on right now. So I got 5 years, the top 5 years of video games, and you can have your own list, but this is what I pretty much feel that is the general consensus. I think everybody can agree on this. Some people may not agree on this, but this is how I feel this top 5 years. I'm gonna go from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Year 5, the number 5, or the 5th best year in video game history, as far as when it comes to video games, I would have to say 1985. 1985 was the best year in video game history as far as top 5 because it was a revival year as far as video games was going. Now look, I'm a second generation gamer. I thought I was a first generation gamer, but I wasn't. I was a second generation gamer. Even though I played with first generation games, I was born on the end of the first generation, and the second generation was I was 3 years old. I remember getting an Atari 2600 CVS, and the Atari 2600 is second generation. I remember playing Pitfall, Combat, and Baseball. Those are the 3 games I got with my Atari 2600. And Atari is the, when it comes to what console or what company wins that generation, in the second generation console, in the console wars or the consoles, Atari, the company Atari won the second generation. First generation, for years, the first generation, I thought Magnabots won the first generation with ColecoVision and Intellivision. But come to find out, Nintendo won the first generation. A lot of people don't realize that. In the first generation of gaming, Nintendo won the first generation with just one region, and that's Japan. They won it with the color TVs. I thought Magnabots won, due to the ColecoVision, but I'm sadly mistaken. What makes a company wins a generation is the units of sales of their consoles. In Japan alone, the color TV, the Nintendo color TV outsold the Magnabox worldwide by double. So Nintendo won the first generation. A lot of people don't realize that. Second generation, Atari with the 2600 and the 720. The 2600 won leaps and bounds, destroyed, and Nintendo was nowhere to be found, and destroyed the competition, destroyed Magnavox, destroyed all the American companies. But at the same time, thanks to E.T., the E.T. video game and the Pac-Man game on the Atari 2600, it pretty much destroyed video games. Video games was about to be destroyed. The video game industry was about to get destroyed after its own infancy. Nobody was talking about video games anymore. Nobody was going to the arcades anymore. The consoles, even when the consoles first started up for 5-6 years, they're dying out, right? The consoles was dying out. Atari was suffering. So Nintendo was looked at this and was like, let's come out with our own system. So they came out with the Famicom. But the thing about Nintendo was Americans are gamers too, so let's make a system for the instead of just making a system for Japan, we're going to make a system international. And we're not going to call it the Famicom, we're going to call it the NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System. So the Nintendo Entertainment System came out, and the rest is history. Nintendo single-handedly saved the home market when it comes to arcades. Who saved when it comes to video games? Who saved the arcades? None other than Capcom. Actually, Data East 2 did. Data East came out with Karate Champ, but Capcom really saved it because they came out with Ghosts and Goblins, or Ghouls and Ghosts. And a lot of people was playing that. At that time, Ghosts and Goblins looks amazing. So Capcom saved the arcade industry. Nintendo saved the home industry, the home market as far as consoles go. And the rest is history. So 1985, we can bring it up real quick. Hold on. Let me bring it up so I can show you. 1985. And we're going to go 1 second. So, blow it up right quick so y'all can see it. So 1985 is the best in top five years of video game history. The best top 5 video games of all years is 1985, 5th on the list, due to Nintendo coming out with the Nintendo Entertainment System and Capcom coming out with the arcade game of Ghosts and Goblins. Oh, and then Tetris came out, and then Gradius, Hang On, Space Harrier. I mean, yeah, these are a lot of games that came in 1985. But it's not because of the games. It's more so of what Nintendo and Capcom did as far as saving, the whole video game industry. So yes, 1985, Nintendo saved the whole video game industry because Atari, as a second generation, it did well, but Atari was going bankrupt. Video games was going to be extinct, and then the beginning of the third generation, which is Nintendo, who won the third generation, came out with the Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES or the Famicom. So there you have it. That is the fifth best year in video game history. Going to number 4. All right. This might be controversial, but number 4, the fourth best year. Wait, hold on. Tim says, I really wonder how the late 80s would have turned out if we could have prevented Atari's mismanagement. I still think it would have failed. I still think Atari would have failed and video games would have crumbled. And if it wasn't for Japan, if it wasn't for Nintendo, if it wasn't for Sega, the video game industry would have been extinct. By at least by 87, 88, video games would have been extinct. Due to a mismanagement of Atari and due to the egos of the Western companies over here, it would have been extinct. It would have been horrible. It would have been horrible. So if you just joined in, well, I'm doing the top 5 best years of video game history. The very top 5 video game years, period, by far. And I already did number 5. Number 5 was 1985. And 1985 was top 5 because of Nintendo. And when they came out with the third generation system, Nintendo Entertainment System, they pretty much revitalized the video game industry. Okay. Atari was basically saying, can it be a game? If yes, make it. I think they have not been or going full on greed. They could have found some quality. But that's the thing. The reason why is because remember E.T. E.T. was the most selling game of all time, but it was trash because of, like you said, greed. Greed pretty much almost killed the video game industry. But I digress. Top 4. Number 4. The number 4 best year in video game history. This could be controversial. Bear with me. This could be controversial. I'm going to say 2016. 2016 is the 4th best year in video game history. You want to know why? 2 reasons. 1, because a lot of the games that came out that year were pretty good, but also, 3 reasons. Also, number 2, it set the standard for the modern game industry right now to this day. And then 3, how it set the standard is because of the live service. I know a lot of people are tired of the live service, but that's what we're dealing with now. The live service, meaning the seasons. Like, you have certain games that have seasons. And, I joke with my wife, Reset Tuesday, like, Apex, Overwatch, Destiny 2, NBA 2K, Madden. All these games have like seasons. Even Capcom, they have a season. Their season is longer, but they still have a season or DLC. Same with Taken 8. 2016 set the precedence for all that. You understand? They set the live service games in 2016. Love it or hate it. A lot of people hate it, but regardless if you hate it or not, this is the current modern standard of video games right now, what we're talking about. 2016. Before 2016, nobody was talking about that. Now, was DLC before 2016? Yeah. thanks to what's Bethesda with the horse mod in Oblivion in 2007, 2006, I think they came out with the horse mod. That's that caused that started the microtransaction, or aka the DLC. But in 2016, it was perfected, and you have live service games. Even Roblox right now has a live service game. Fortnite, Call of Duty. All these games have seasonal microtransactions, DLCs. They have seasons, and that's why I always find it funny. People's like, I don't want to spend $70 on a game. I'm like, well, you're not going to spend $70 on the game. If that game is really good, you're going to spend at least $300, $400, $500 on that game through the shelf life of that game. I mean, due to seasons, live service games. And 2016 was the first year that we witnessed that. I mean, hold on, I'll bring up 2016 right now. 1 second, let you see what I'm talking about. One second. Oh, and then virtual reality hit, and then augment reality with Pokemon Go. Let me tell you something about. Let me see. Yeah, so number 4, best year in video game years. The best video game year was number 4 is 2016. 2016 we had a bunch of games. And then we had Pokemon Go. Let me explain something. Let me say something about Pokemon Go. I went to Evo 2016 that summer, and yo, what's up, Dre? What's up? In 2016, I went to Evo that summer, and let me explain to you. There was so many people who got eliminated or disqualified in pools because they were in the hallway, or we were at the Expo Center at that time. They were in the lobby having Pokemon battles because they was trying to. I think Mewtwo was available in the lobby, and so many people was battling to get that on Pokemon Go. It was crazy. I was like, I'd be damned if I travel thousands, spend thousands of dollars just to get to Evo, and I'll get disqualified because I'm in the lobby with my Pikachu on my phone on Pokemon Go. You got to be out your goddamn mind. So yeah, what other games came out? Oh, you got Uncharted, Uncharted 4, Thief's End, Overwatch. If you know me, I was ridiculously invested in Overwatch, like ridiculous, like ridiculous. Like, okay, so all these are the games that came out in 2016. Yeah, Uncharted 4, Thief's End, good game. Persona 5, good game. Batman Return to Arkham, good game. Dark Souls 3, good game. We ain't gonna talk about BioShock Collection, whatever. The Enzo Collection, we're not gonna talk about that. Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, very good game. You have Forza Horizons 3, a lot of people like that. You had the Doom remake, good game. Titanfall 2 came out that year. Great game. You have Metal Gear Solid, the director's cut, Metal Gear Solid 5. You had Yakuza 6. You had Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. You had Dishonored 2, of course, Overwatch, I just said. You had XCOM 2, which should have won Game of the Year because XCOM 2 was amazing. You had Mortal Kombat XL. You had Battlefield 1. You had Civilization 6. You had what else? There was another game that came out. You had the Hitman remake. You had Final Fantasy 15. You had The Last Guardian. You had Ratchet and Clank. You had, look at all these games, dog. This is the top 50. This is the top 50. I can go on. This is 2016. Okay. You had the Rise of Iron DLC for Destiny. You had Quantum Break. A lot of people didn't play it, but it was a good game. And it was in the Alan Wake universe. You had the Gears of War 4. You know what I'm saying? What else? You had Unraveled, almost won Game of the Year. You had the best NBA 2K game ever created of all time. NBA 2K17 is the best NBA 2K in the modern day era. It is still on my hard drive on my PlayStation 4. NBA 2K17 was amazing. Orange Juice, you feel me? Just man. Watch Dogs 2, okay. Abzul was good. That's on my PlayStation 4. I mean, I listed at least about 50 games, bro. Like Overcooked, I didn't play it, but a lot of people played it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the King of Fighters 14. You know, man, you had Resident Evil 0 remastered. You had Death by Daylight. All these games came out in 2016, bro. You had Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. They still doing updates with Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 to this day. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. There's so many games that came out in 2016. They still getting they still getting updated to this day. Like Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Well, Destiny 2 didn't come out, but the Destiny universe was, you know, Destiny came out in 2014, but it was still getting updated. Then you have Overwatch 2. Well, Overwatch 2 is pretty much Overwatch 1.5. Let's be real. And then and the Division, the Destiny killer, the Division fell short. All these games came out in 2016. So that's why 2016 is like my fourth best year in video game history. Like it was so many good games, and then it set the standard for all modern games to this day. So he said the reason why I call Ubisoft Oopsie. Okay. I'm trying to see if anybody on YouTube. Well, let me see. You know, if you're on YouTube and you got questions, I'm sorry. First, I want to apologize. I want to apologize for last week. I didn't have my YouTube channel chat up, and I missed a lot of y'all questions and comments. But I got it up now, so we'll go there from there. All right, that was number 4. Let's go with number 5. I know we did 4. 5. We did 4. Let's go with 3. The third best year in video games. All right. I think I'm gonna get a kick out of this one. Hold on. The third best year. The third best year in video games is none other than 2000. The year 2000. Why did I say the year 2000? Can y'all guess why I say the year 2000? First and foremost, that was the year I got married. But that has neither here nor there. Why the year 2000? Why is the year 2000 the third best year in video game history? Because of the number one all-selling console of all time, the PlayStation 2. The third best year out of top 5 is the year 2000 because of the PlayStation 2. The PlayStation 2, oh my God, it's like the best console ever. On top of that, and then secondly, it was the worst launch experience I ever had. Oh, well, nobody cares about Dreamcast. Nobody cares about the Dreamcast. Nobody cares about the Dreamcast. And look, I'm a Sega head. I love the Dreamcast. Dreamcast was straight as the best system for fighting games, period, by far. The Dreamcast, but with that being said, the Dreamcast killed arcades. The Dreamcast single-handedly killed arcades. The Dreamcast killed arcades. Okay. Okay, look, I mean, I care about Dreamcast. I love Dreamcast, but the Dreamcast has killed the arcades. When Soul Calibur and Marvel vs. Capcom 2 came out on the Dreamcast, not only did they look better than the arcade versions, but they ran faster than the arcade versions. So yeah, nobody was going to the arcades anymore to play fighting games after the Dreamcast came out. Dreamcast became the staple of fighting games. Like right now, people are saying Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is on the Marvel vs. Capcom collection, and people are saying, is it playing the arcade version or are they playing the Dreamcast version? I seen Yipes just 2, 3, 4 days ago. It was like when he did his video on YouTube talking about he was doing the reveal for the Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and he was like, well, are they going to use the ROM, are they going to use the arcade version, or are they going to use the Dreamcast version, because Dreamcast version is faster. I mean, Dreamcast was a good system. I like it, don't get me wrong. Dreamcast system was phenomenal, but I mean, it also, like you said, like Tim said, you got Power Stone, you got Crazy Taxi. I mean, the other arcade racing game, I forgot it was Daytona. You had Daytona. Daytona on the Dreamcast looked better than the eight section arcade version. But yeah, 2000 was good, man. Don't get me wrong. 2000, we were gaming. We were gaming, dude. We had the PlayStation 2. You had the Dreamcast. You had, man, we were gaming. We were gaming in 2000. You know what I'm saying? In the year 2000, we were gaming. But, let me show you what we're talking about. So, if you look in the year 2000, okay, PlayStation 2 came out. You had NBA Live 2001. You had NBA 2K1 with Allen Iverson on the cover. You know what I'm saying? You had Diablo 2. You had Dragon Quest 7. You had Final Fantasy 9. And I heard they're doing a remake of Final Fantasy 9. You even had college football. You had Skies of the Kid. Look, okay, bump this. Since everybody's visual, let's go to visual. Let's go to, where's my mouse? Let's go to visual. Oh, and Jet Set Radio. Yeah. Okay, let's go to visual. You had Perfect Dark. They even remade Perfect Dark now. So you had Perfect Dark. You had Resident Evil Codename Veronica. You know what I'm saying? You had Batwhack Spider-Man. I didn't like that Spider-Man. You had Dust X. You had Baldur's Gate 2. You had The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. You had Marvel vs. Capcom 2, considered the best fighting game of all time. Okay, you had Command & Conquer, Red Alert 2, and that was on the PC. You had Alice, which I thought was weird as hell. You had Diablo 2. What else? You had Spyro: The Year of the Dragon, Final Fantasy 9. Like I said, you had Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. Tony Hawk Pro Skaters 2 was amazing. Man, don't get me started. Tony Hawk, man, listen. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 was goddamn phenomenal. If you know, you know, okay? You had Paper Mario. You had Dino Crisis 2. You had Half-Life Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike came out in the year 2000. You had Fear Effect. How many of y'all remember Fear Effect? This is my favorite PlayStation 2 game of all time. The Bouncer. I still have this game. I have an import Japanese copy, hard physical copy of this game. The Bouncer. I wish they remake The Bouncer. If they remake The Bouncer, it'd be amazing. Then you had Driver 2. Remember the Driver series? Do y'all remember the Driver series? I do. You had Soldiers of Fortune. The Sims. The very first Sims came out in 2000. Vagrant Story. Do you remember Vagrant Story? How many people remember Vagrant Story? Vagrant Story was pretty goddamn good. Then you had Banjo-Tooie. Of course, you had Jet Set Radio, one of my all-time favorites. Jackie Chan Stuntmaster was stupid. Didn't really play these games right here. Then you have Midnight Club Street Racing. The very first Midnight Club was okay, but Midnight Club, the second one, and especially the third one, yeah, but that didn't come out at that time. Then you had Tenchu 2. Tenchu 2 was just amazing, bro. Tenchu 2, oh my god. Didn't like Tenchu 3, but Tenchu 2, marvelous. Then you had Mario Party 3. Then you had Homeworld Cataclysm. It was alright. But then Turok 3. Remember the Turok games? Nobody really cared about. You know what I'm saying? You had Icewind Dale. So many hours in Icewind Dale. Then you had Dekitana. That game felt so bad. Then you had Grandia 2. Skies of Arcadia is such a underrated RPG game on the Dreamcast. What else? There were so many good games in 2000. So many games. So many good games. Dead or Alive 2. Siphon Filter 2. Time Splitters. How many of y'all remember Time Splitters? That was like the first person shooter I played on PlayStation 2. Yeah, man. It's so many. We didn't really play the Blade game. We was watching Blade on TV, but we didn't play the game. Come on, dude. How many people remember WWF No Mercy on Nintendo 64? On Nintendo 64. Come on, bro. WWF No Mercy. Man. In the year 2000. Oh, SSX. Remember SSX? Remember SSX? Look, this is like the top 100. We're like at 130. And these are like Dark Cloud. These are like games that were like banging in 2000. Like Ridge Racer 5. Phantasy Star Online came out in 2000. Look, this is why this year is the third best year. Look at all these games. I'm in the top 140 games, and I'm still going down the list. And I'm still Mortal Kombat Special Forces, Metal Slug 3. I'm still going. Let's go. Let's go to the top 200. There's so many good games that came out in 2000. We were gaming. Dynasty Warriors 2, Eternal Ring. I mean, some people play Bejeweled. Capcom versus SK2? I mean, come on, man. Look at all these games. Look at all these games that came out in 2000. Man. Project Justice? Or Rival Schools? As some people would say. Armored Core 2? Medieval 2? No, I'm still going. I'm in 216. This is all here in 2000. Like I said, we were gaming. Bloody War 3? Dog, this is ridiculous. I gotta stop. We'll be here all night. We'll be here all night talking about these damn games. Year 2000, we were gaming. And you know what's funny? That's just the third best year. Moving on. Like there was like damn near 100 games. 100 games I just listed. Damn near 100 games, bro. Like 100 games in the year 2000 alone. My second best year. Okay. My second best year, right off rip, it's 2007. 2007 just, there was so many good games. I mean, PlayStation 3 just came out in 2006. Xbox 360 just came out, and let me tell you, the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 2 is the best all-time selling console ever, but Microsoft came out, you know, with the 360, and they damn near won. I mean, of course, PlayStation 3 sold more units, or no, Nintendo sold more units with the Wii, but you know, they won that generation. But gamers loved the 360. Everybody I know was with the 360. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was just gaming hard on the 360. Microsoft almost won it. Microsoft, man, there was so many good games on the 360, and so the second best year by far is 2007, and it was just about gaming. It was just about gaming. It was just about gaming with your friends, and it was just so many good games in 2007. If 2000 was had some games, look at all these games that came out in 2007. 2007 was ridiculous. Look, let me show you the games that came in 2007. Okay, first and foremost, the best game that I've ever played, Mass Effect, came out in 2007. Just ridiculous. BioShock, okay? God of War 2, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, Uncharted, Assassin's Creed, Halo 3, Team Fortress 2, Spider-Man 3, Portal, Manhunt 2, The Witcher, The Shield, Heavenly Sword, Super Mario Galaxy, Lego Star Wars, The Complete Saga, Ben 10, Command and Conquer 3, Stalker, Harry Potter. These are bangers. All of these are bangers, by the way. Stranglehold, Crisis, okay? Rock Band, you know what I'm saying? Dragon Ball Z Budokai TT3. A lot of people saying that's the best Budokai version ever. You know what I'm saying? Then you had Metroid Prime 3, The Darkness. You had Half-Life 2, Episode 2. You know what I'm saying? Look, Lost Odyssey, Kane and Lynch. Do y'all remember Kane and Lynch? There was so many good games in 2007. Let me see. What else? Guitar Hero 3. Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock was banging. Taken 6. It was okay. And then you had Skate. It was alright. It was another game. Crackdown. Look, Crackdown was good. I don't care what nobody said. Crackdown was pretty good. I mean, yeah. And then you had the sucky game Def Jam Icon. That game was horrible. It wasn't like Def Jam 2. Def Jam 2 was good, but then they went to Def Jam Icon. I thought it was the worst game I ever played. Def Jam Icon was like one of the worst games I ever played. Ace Combat 6 was pretty good. Ghost Recon Advanced Warfare 2 was pretty good. The Orange Box, phenomenal. Okay. Yeah, they all fall off. But yeah, that first, let me tell you, them first 10 games, bangers. Yeah. The second best year in gaming, it had to have been 2007. It had to be. Had to be. All right. Had to be. Now here's the thing. Here is the thing. For years, I said that 1996 was the best year in video game history by far. And the reason why I kept saying that is because if you look back, 1996 was the best year in entertainment by far. I'm talking about all across the board. 1996 was the best year in entertainment by far. When it came to books, movies, television, hip hop, music in general, but hip hop, that was the best year in hip hop history, 1996. And I always said video games in 1996 was the best year in 1996. But upon further review and investigation, I was wrong. 1996 was good, but as you can see, it's not even on my list anymore. 1996 is not on my list, and that's probably going to be a shocker because I've butted heads with Chris Ford, I butted heads with D-Dog, I butted heads with even my own sons, I butted heads with everybody, and it was like, to this day, 1996 is the best year in video games ever. But unfortunately, this is the first time I have to say 1996 wasn't the best. No, I sat back and went through the whole list, and 1996 is an honor to mention. I love 1996, but this year, the year that I'm about to bring up, like totally just, wow. So let's get to it. The year. The best year for gaming of all time. Can't believe I'm saying this. The best gaming year of all time is none other than 1998. 1998 is the best year in gaming of all time. Period. There's nothing. 1998 was the best year for video games ever. You had the PlayStation. PlayStation came out because, for starters, the PlayStation, Sony came out with the PlayStation. The deal fell through between them and Nintendo, and they came out with the PlayStation, and they've been cooking ever since. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, Tim. Yeah, let's just get to the games. Let's see the games. For starters, Metal Gear Solid. Okay. Fallout 2, Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. Some consider this the best goddamn Legend of Zelda of all time. Me personally, I do. Resident Evil 2. Some people consider Resident Evil 2 the best Resident Evil to this day. Half-Life, the very first Half-Life. Okay? Grim Fandango. If you didn't play that, you didn't know. Baldur's Gate. Okay? Baldur's Gate. StarCraft. Look, off rip. The first 9 games, with the exception of Fifth Element, just totally destroyed every other list. You do understand what I'm saying? I don't know about this Lula the Sex Empire. I don't know what that game's about. But Spyro the Dragon, okay? Marvel vs. Capcom. That was the first time we was like, oh, snap, Marvel vs. Capcom. Sonic Adventure. Half the people in here still sings these songs from Sonic the Adventure. Banjo-Kazooie, Crash Bandicoot, Thief, Tomb Raider 3. Well, nobody played Doom 2000. You know what I'm saying? Mario Party, the very first Mario Party. Parasite Eve. You know how many hours I wasted in Parasite Eve? Turok 2, Medieval, Xenogears. Xenogears came out in 1998. Enter the Gecko. I guess that's part 2. Reboot. I don't think people played the game, but people did watch the cartoon series. Heart of Darkness, Soul Calibur. That came out. The sequel to Soul Edge, 1998. Rainbow Six, Twisted Metal 3. Tenchu, the very first Tenchu, Duke Nukem. Okay? Brave Fencer Musashi. Remember Brave Fencer Musashi? Street Fighter Alpha 3. Let me see, what else? Suikoden 2, one of my all-time favorite RPGs. Suikoden 2 is so damn underrated. And then the best wrestling game to this day. I mean, No Mercy is good, but no. WCW NWO Revenge is still by far the best wrestling simulator game to ever come out. That came out in 1998. Okay? Bloody Roar 2. Yeah, I'm selling you in 1998. Look, Tim, I'm not bullshitting. For years, I said 1996. But when you look at 1998, I mean, unreal. We're most of the games, and I would say good 85% of the games today are all played or based on the Unreal Engine number 5. Unreal came out in 1998. What else? Legend of Agaria, Ninja, Shadow of Darkness, The Last Blade 2. Yeah, man. 1998 is the best. King of Fighters. Oh, my favorite fighting game of all time. King of Fighters 98. King of Fighters 98. Okay. King of Fighters 98. So it's crazy. It's crazy to me how good 1998. And then King's Quest. A lot of people don't know that King's Quest is From Software's very first game. While you playing Elden Ring, I was playing King Quest on PlayStation. I thought that game was hard as hell. And it was first person. First person. Imagine playing Elden Ring first person with PlayStation graphics. Yeah, King's Quest. It was hard as hell. Okay. Squaresoft's fighting game, Inherts, whatever this game is. I mean, I tried to play it, but I didn't really like it. It was so many games in 1998. But Guilty Gear came in 1990. Yeah, it was first person. Go look up King's Quest on the PlayStation. That was from Software's first game. King's Quest. It was Hold on, I'll show it to you right now. Where? PlayStation. What's it called? King's Quest? Nah, it was different. It was a different name. I'll find it. I'll find it. I'll find it. But yeah. 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 98, man. 98. Just go back to 98. '98. Hold on, let me and I'm gonna show you why I thought games from '96 was like. This is 1996. I appreciate that. King Rip said, "This is off topic because I don't usually comment and miss your lives, but your DiCaprio reaction from Street Fighter 4 was the best character reaction from that era. You were hilarious." Man, thank you. And second of all, you don't understand. I was fucking pissed off that DiCaprio was, yeah. But 1996, you had Resident Evil, you had Super Mario 64, you had Tomb Raider, you had Duke Nukem 3D, you had Crash Bandicoot, you had Mario Kart 64, you had X-Men vs. Street Fighter, you had Mortal Kombat Trilogy, you had Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall, you had Diablo, you had Command and Conquer, you had Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue, you had Twisted Metal 2, you had Quake, you had Papa the Rapper, you had Blood Omen Legacy of Kain, yeah, Metal Slug. I mean, you had Night into the Dreams. I mean, '96 had some good games, but it's not messing with. It's not messing with '98. It's not. It can't. It can't. So. Yeah, I don't know. They're gonna bring it back and they're gonna mess it up. Tim. If they bring back Legacy of Kain now, they're gonna mess it up because, like you said, greed. But in case you were wondering, the top 5 gaming years. Number 5 was 1985. Number 4 was 2016. Number 3 was 2000. Number 2 was 2007. And number 1 was 1998. Well, pretty much over the minute mark. I know that y'all want to get back to playing Elden Ring because I do, or get back to Best of the World. So I'm gonna give a shout out to all you guys who just took your time of your busy schedule to see this podcast. I appreciate you guys. I give a shout out to my lovely wife for taking care of me, and she's gonna help me put on this boot later on. Yeah, this is my boot. They took my cast off. If you can see it. Yeah, whatever. And then yeah, I'm gonna let you guys get to it. Get back to the rest of your day. Hope y'all have a wonderful week. Don't forget, Bison come out on Wednesday. If you're playing Street Fighter 6, and that's about it. I hope you guys have a good remainder of your week, and we'll talk to you next week. I don't know what I'm gonna talk about. I'll figure out something. We'll talk about something. I'm not just gonna let you sit here and stare at me and talk about my receding hairline. We'll figure out something. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. Have a good night, everybody.